Welcome back to the White Gray Black Weekly Manga Podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about all of your favorite ongoing Japanese manga. My name is Bruce. I am the proprietor of the White Gray Black YouTube channel. With me again this week is Gautam.
Hello, hello.
This week we are in action territory. We're going to start out with Chained Soldier, Chapter 120, and then check out Sakamoto Days, Chapter 144. Both of these chapters have some gorgeous girls in them and some even more gorgeous action, so stick around. All right, Gautam, let's start with Chained Soldier, Chapter 120. So you don't read this, I do. Chained Soldier is great. This past fight has been really cool. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. So there's a group of, I think it's 6 or 7 like demon lords, and then there's the Maho Defense Force, which is all the girls with the superpowers. That's the plot. What is happening right now is one of these demon generals attacked, and each of I think there's 7 or 9 or 11, maybe there's like 12, I don't know. There's a bunch of branches of this defense force, and each of them has like a captain and underlings. They're all a group of like 3 to 5 or 6 girls. So I think it was 2 of the big bads showed up. Or no, 3 of the big bads showed up, like, I don't know, 8 chapters ago maybe, and they're like, okay, this defense force group will take this one, and this other defense force group will take this one. So this is one of those sort of side fights. And what it is this girl on screen, whose name I don't know because it doesn't matter. She has like I'm trying to think of how to, she has like what's the like, I create my own world and bring you into it thing. Like, Ryder has in Fate Zero and in Jujutsu Kaisen domain expansion thing.
Domain expansion, yeah, that's the one.
She essentially has that power, but her power is, this is where it gets goofy. The like main female character who's the head of the group that the main guy is in, right? Everyone, this girl is like a complete simp for that other girl. So what her domain expansion is inside her domain, if you like, it's this weird sort of like Paladin Holy Crusade-esque rule set thing where it's like, if you are dishonest, you are weakened. If you tell the truth, you are strengthened. And then there is like a big statue of the other girl, of the girl that she worships in there as like a kind of god. And if you like praise or embrace that god, it like powers you up even more. And the statue is like part of this fight.
That's awesome. I love that. It's
actually really cool. Like, no lie, yes, this is like an ecchi series, but I really think the action and the sort of like power sets and stuff that happen in this are like top tier. I love Chained Soldier. So the bad guy, this is a weird one. The bad guy just transforms herself into a spear, which I swear to God, we saw this Ame no Noboko maybe, or something really similar in Ranger Reject a couple of weweeks ago when they were doing their powers. So I think Ame no is like something of the gods, because like it's like
that makes sense.
Because like Ame,
it is called a divine weapon, so
or it's like something of heaven, something like that. Yeah, or divine, I guess. And she just like launches herself at the girl, and then this is the statue down here that's like catching the spear, not an actual like other girl. But it's like, it's really well handled. And the other girl also has ice powers, because why not? She has like domain expansion and ice powers.
That's overpowered.
Yeah. But so her and her whole little group, the ice domain expansion power girl, the bad girl at one point like split herself into 3 to try to like fight all of them and just be more, she thinks she's like way more powerful. So they're like fighting all these different copies and versions of her. So like here you see it's like, okay, this is one of her lieutenants with like a whip that's fighting, and then this like brawler girl has him in a chokehold. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just like really cool action paneling. I love the facial expressions in this series. Like down here at the bottom, it's like they're like perfectly over the top, where it's like, yes, I get exactly the emotion that's being conveyed here. The like sort of lead girl in the fight takes a bunch of hits. I like this. The panel at the bottom here is this like, aha, I got her. It's like the, oh no, the like, flip.
Oh no, yeah.
It's like, oh no. It's like, yeah, see, this is what I was talking about with the plot. It's like one unit takes down one god. Like, they kind of split off to kind of try to take out all of these gods. But she gets all fucked up, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a badass panel of just like,
Yeah, the art is so
I was set
fucking
to
sick.
take down a god. This is my mission.
Yeah, God,
Really
the
good
art
art in this
is
series.
just really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this guy is smurfing. I like real talk. Okay, One Punch Man, best action series probably. I think Sakamoto Days, which we're going to talk about a little bit, is probably number 2. This might for real be my like number 3 best action series. Like the action in it is just that good. Like it's so sick. Like the fights.
I actually thought like if it wasn't for the main premise of the plot, I think this would be up my alley.
Yeah.
I read up to the part where they fight like this. It was pretty early, but there's a girl that can rewind time.
They do the little like they like fight each other for practice or whatever. I think. Yeah.
It was like a serious fight, quote unquote, but
Yeah.
she like becomes a good guy. But that fight was so creative. So I
There's
assume
tons
like
of
all the
creative
fights
fights. Yeah.
in this series are pretty creative. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, honestly, if you're not, I mean, if you're like me and you're sort of like, I could really care less if there's a little bit of boobs in my manga. This, I think.
Well, I
this,
could care less if there's a little bit of boobs.
Okay, there's a lot of boobs in this one, to be fair, but yeah, this is really great, and then it's just like, it just like screams and like this panel of her getting like cut in half is awesome, and then I don't think I may not have put the panels in, but did I put them in there? Yeah. Right? Like this is like the main girl like cuts the main body in half, and then the other 2 lieutenants like take down their 2 copies, and then just like she splits in 2, and it's awesome. I don't know.
That's
the
tight.
series
That
is
looks-
it's hype.
The fight seemed really fun.
The fights are really good. I guarantee you. So I think this has an anime starting, I think in January, and the early fights are not the most creative. But once they get, I think, around to the part where you were, there's an early arc where all of the Defense Force girls like meet up and have like a practice tournament arc, essentially. When that happens, you start getting some really creative fights because you get like, creative power on creative power. Because the main group of girls don't have that creative powers. They kind of do. It's like the main girl who does the chained soldier thing, the like slave quote unquote thing where can turn the boy into a powerful thing or let other people turn him into a powerful thing. And then it's like one girl gets big, one girl can copy anyone else's power at a lesser degree. And then there's like there's like a mind reading like Esper type girl, and that's like the main sort of core group. But yeah, I don't know. This is a really creative, really cool thing. This was a really sick. You might even just go and read like these 4 or 5 chapters because
They're fun. Yeah.
there's not much etchy
think
stuff
people-
in this.
I think people don't do conditional powers enough, and I think this series seems to do it a lot, which I like. Like Deku breaking his arms, like we talked about last time. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like powers with trade-offs. Like if you look at Fairy Tail, like Natsu can just use fire unlimitedly.
Yeah.
There's like it turns into Dragon Ball Z power level energy blast bullshit, right? Whereas
Yeah.
like here it's cool, like because there's a specific set of rules in which her world operates in, and anyone could use it to their advantage if they know the rules. Like so there's like a condition, an asterisk by her power. That adds like a level of complexity that just makes these fights cool and interesting.
Yeah, well, and it's not in this chapter. I think it's in maybe 1 or 2 chapters ago. The bad guy tries to take advantage of that by like telling the lead fight girl here like exactly what she's going to do. She's like, I'm going to split into 3 and distract you lieutenants, and I'm going to go after you by doing this and that. And she tries to like tell the truth to power herself up, and it like works a little bit, but but she like insulted the girl who
The goddess, yeah.
the goddess who she like simps for, and so it like backfires on her. But yeah, this is a
great.
really cool series with really inventive powers. And you mentioned drawbacks. If in case you are unfamiliar with the premise of Chained Soldier, the main draw of this is that the main girl has the ability to turn the main guy into a like really powerful fighter by use of her power, because her power that's like her power is she can turn this guy into a really strong fighting thing, or she can allow other people to have her power to turn him into a really strong fighting thing, but it changes based on who's using him. So it's kind of like form swapping, like in a video game or something. But there's always a trade-off. It's interesting. The trade-off is the boy gets to do sexual things after you've used her power. That is her trade-off. Is like, yes, she creates this incredibly strong chained soldier. The trade-off is dude gets to touch her boobs afterwards. So always a trade-off. Remember to be creative with your powers, everybody.
Right. Yeah, that's a relevant and cool trade-off.
Yeah.
I forgot what the not time traveler one, but I forgot what her trade-off was. I think she could only use it like a few times or something.
Yeah, a lot of them have limits on like how often they can use it at a range. Some of the really strong, I'm trying to think of some, the like head of the defense force has a like, did you ever play Dota 2?
A little bit.
Do you know Evoker? Who has
No.
like, okay. The premise of Evoker is you like press certain buttons in certain order. Most champions in Dota 2 or League have like 4 abilities and a passive, right? They have
Right.
like you press Q, it does one thing, you press W, it does another thing, press E, it does something else. Evoker is like you press QWQ and it does one thing. You press QQE and it does another thing. You press EWQ, it does a completely separate thing. So he has like
That's
30.
insane.
And she has that kind of thing. She has these like an eye roulette thing where it's like, oh, I can, and she can combine like, I'm trying to remember the one she uses. She has like speed and something else, and she can just like teleport around, or she combines like strength and energy and do like an energy blaster. She kind of has that kind of power, which is really cool.
That is really cool. Evoker sounds like a nightmare to balance and play.
Yeah,
but that sounds awesome.
Yeah, League announced their newest champion is going to essentially be a simplified Evoker. So,
Okay, that's complicated.
yeah, luckily the League one I think is only 2 button presses in a row, so it's not 3 like Evoker. But
Got it.
But yeah, this is a really cool series, really cool action. I would highly recommend it to anyone over the age of 16. And yeah, I think that's about all I got there, Gautam.
Honestly, seems like a cool series, and
It really is, yeah.
The localized name makes it way more easy to recommend to people.
Yeah, the Japanese translated name, or the Japanese name base is like Mahou Seihei no Slave, which is like slave of the defense force or something. But yeah, that slave has less connotation in Japan, although there is still some connotation there, I guess, than it does here. But yeah, chain soldier is a good localization, a good swap on it. So
Yeah, I agree.
cool.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk-
move on to my action.
Yeah, let's move
action
on from the
series.
number 3 best action to the number 2 best action.
The number 2.
Yeah.
It was. I know I brought it up like last month, or like a month and a half ago. But this is like, it was so good. This fucking chapter is so good.
I mean, anytime one of the what is the group of elite assassins called? That this girl belongs to, and the sniper guy.
JAA.
Yeah, but they're called like the
I
order.
don't
The
know.
order. It's on screen.
Oh,
There's,
the
like,
order,
screen,
the
the
order.
order. Yeah. Anytime anyone on the
true.
order has a fight, it's great because the sniper guy, which we talked about last month, was in the order. And the chainsaw girl's back, and she's a fan favorite. She's one of my favorites, and she's great in this. So
For anyone who's just listening and can't see the screen, it's I'll give you just the bare minimum context because you really don't need the context for this. Basically, the guy we're rooting for is the apprentice assassin kid with the mask and the black hair, fighting pretty much like one of the elite assassins of the series, a side character.
yeah,
we see
like top
pretty constant-
5 of assassins, at least on the good side.
Yeah.
Good, quote unquote, maybe side.
Quote, yeah, exactly. And in this moment, she is an antagonistic force. Anyway, their fight takes place in a cramped elevator to start with, and she instantly starts by she's a very simple person, just thinks of targets and non-targets. She instantly starts by trying to slice his foot off. Shin, the ESP guy, kind of senses that, pulls him away. And on the next page is where it gets cool. Since it's like such a cramped fighting arena, she just cleaves the elevator in two. Like she splits it right down the middle. The chain breaks, and like the chain holding the elevator up on like the 8th floor or whatever breaks, and it starts plummeting. She puts her foot against the back of the elevator, and the moment the light as it's plummeting dings to like floor number 2, she propels out of the elevator, tackles the guy she's fighting through the metal wall of the elevator. So she like times her jump right when it's on a floor, so she can go through the wall.
And
it's so fucking cool.
She's so good. I don't even remember her name, but like she has the circular saw is her weapon, which is just like
Yeah.
It's a thing that happens in Sakamoto Days so much, where it's just like I never would have thought to do that. Like I never would have thought to make the chainsaw is kind of an iconic weapon to use in action or horror, but the circular saw, like
not so, right?
You do not see that very often. If
It's
ever.
a unique weapon. But
It's really
this series is just all unique. This is just like the first first part of this chapter, she tackles him through into the second floor, and they are now in a diorama of a 1960s city,
like model assassin city, because they're in the art display of assassin history or whatever it's called, something like that. So,
but it's a diorama, so it's all like scaled down.
Yeah,
so
it's like 1/10 scale or something. Yeah,
exactly. So they're fighting in this big city full of buildings, except they're kaiju sized in this city. So it instantly turns into a kaiju fight. We have a Sakamoto Days kaiju fight in a city, and it's like, how do you fucking think of that? That's so cool.
Well, and the cool thing is, like, you could have done this, and it could have been like, oh yeah, they're big against the buildings, but instead, the author puts the camera in locations to make it look, like you said, like a kaiju fight. He puts the camera like under, like in the bottom left here, it's like under a bridge.
Under the bridge.
In the top right, it's like over the thing. Yeah, and it's like this is the best.
This is the best
spread.
panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have seen Pacific Rim, where like the mech punches all the way through a building, through the glass in the building. It's like the fist of the mech is going through like one of the floors of the building. Yeah, that's what
they just do that.
The girl then swings her fist, shattering the glass in one of the buildings, and connects it with the dude. It is so fucking cool. You should just read it. It is. We talk about good paneling all the time, Bruce, and then Sakamoto Days it comes in and shows us how it's done. Is how I feel.
And good paneling is one thing, but just having a well-paneled action doesn't hold up against how creative the fights in Sakamoto.
It's like, everything. It's perfect.
I mean, it's like it's the camera angles, it's the creativity. I mean, not even to mention this order girl is wearing essentially like a funeral dress, I guess. She's in like a very fancy, like all black, like lacy dress thing. So she like looks iconic. Yeah, I definitely, when this anime hits, which is going to be eventually, maybe next year.
It's going to pop off. It's going to pop off.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, Sakamoto Days is like already top 10 when it has a volume come out. So this is going to be big. And as long as the anime can do it justice, she's going to be a fan favorite. She should show up in season 1. And her first fight is also creative. I think, don't they fight at like a Japanese temple, like with the torii gates and stuff, and she like cuts through all of them. Yeah, that was very cool. Yeah. It was a long time ago, but that was a very cool fight too.
I truly think that this author should be used as like a study for prospective authors or prospective mangaka, because like I feel like Murata is on, like, he's kind of inhuman. It's like playing someone in a fighting game and they're so much better than you that you don't learn anything. It's like art-wise, I think he is it's good, but he's on par with like other shonen artists. But handling, shot composition, creativity, everything is so much further above everyone else that I feel like people should study this and think about their fights more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure. I mean, this is the prime example. Yeah, I agree totally. This is a prime example, like you said, that other mangaka should look at, in that if you can do one thing in your manga really well, whether it's like My Hero Academia, the art itself is really, really, really good. I think that attracts and keeps a lot of people around. With Sakamoto Days, the action and the paneling, like you said, is really, really, really good. The art is fine. Like, it's not bad, but you're right. It's about sort of at the average level of Weekly Shonen Jump, right? This is not
I would even say better. Yeah, I would even say at some parts it's like on the rougher side of things. But
occasionally, like, I mean, like
that doesn't matter, right?
You're not here for that. You're here for the action, because the action is like what he does so well.
And yeah, I think like even when the art is rough, it's compensated by so many unique framed perspectives and like ideas, and I don't know. I just don't even notice when it is rough, because everything else is flowing so well that I can only notice that.
Yeah, it doesn't detract from it, because it's all so well communicated that slightly rough art doesn't detract from it. So, which again is a thing that if you're a prospective mangaka, you should have those things where you can take shortcuts. We talked about, I think last week, Dan to Dan, or 2 weeks ago, Dan to Dan, where it's like, this guy knows where to focus his artistic talents. He doesn't draw backgrounds. He uses the sort of converted picture backgrounds. And it's like, yeah, every shortcut you can use to be like, focus your attention where it's important when creating art, because if you try to focus on everything at the same time, it'll all come out mediocre. So
Yeah, and exactly, like, this is if you really analyze like detail of art, like the buildings are like they're blank at the bottom panel, like, but none of that fucking matters because you're seeing someone punch through from the inside of the building, punch through the whole floor and connect their fist with someone else's face. It's like that just is so perfect that, like, you don't even care about smaller details that are missing. Like, that shit doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's great.
I don't know. It's just so good.
Sakamoto Days is easily top 3 almost every single week in Weekly Shonen Jump. It's so good.
In terms of fight creativity, and like fight paneling, it is number 1.
I think it is too. Yeah. I think One Punch Man might still, in my opinion, have like better
Murata might
paneling, but it is a little bit cheating because Murata gets kind of like however long he needs to do everything. The fact that this is weekly is impressive by itself.
Murata's paneling is godlike, but he is a god. So, I think his art also makes his paneling.
His art is
better.
also, I mean, his art is also impressive. He's one of the best, just straight across the board art mangakas around. So,
it's just hard that he exists because there are so many amazing talents that are second place because of his existence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else on Sakamoto Days?
I think this is again the funnest fucking chapter all week. It's just so great, good. Yep. I described it as best I could. But honestly, you're doing yourself a disservice by not just checking it out. I don't care if you read the thing. Just go read the latest chapter, which is number 144. You don't need context. It's just buck wild and fun.
Yeah, it's really great. So let's throw something. Oh, whoops! I'll go back to here. Let's throw something in here because we got a little bit of extra time.
Sure.
When will Ayumu make his move? Finish today. Did you keep up with that? Grab any random chapters? This is the little.
Nah, I'm like 6 months behind on that, or something like that.
Okay, well, you could literally read the last chapter and this chapter and be like, okay, it's the end, and nothing has changed.
Okay, cool.
So this is. Let me find the author real quick. This is the end of. This is the end of this author's. Like, this author went from a year ago or so having 3 pretty consistent weekly series running in various magazines and to having now nothing. And all of his series are pretty, let me see, where's the mangaka? Yes, Soichiro Yamamoto. That's who it is, Yamamoto. All of his stuff is pretty cute and enjoyable. I generally like it. They're like less than 8 pages usually, so it's very light. It's like 2 minutes. You get to flip through and watch Takagi get teased, or watch some shogi romance. I do think that When Will Ayumu Make His Move is probably the best of his 3.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think so. That one, people complain about the side girl and the progression of it, but I feel like it had the best. Teasing Master Takagi-san always felt like it was always treading water, right? Like, and yes, the finale of that one, which was maybe like a month ago, did kind of have a confession.
Yeah.
I
think that's like the onus of the plot is kind of the treading water,
it is more about cute. Put the characters in cute, slightly romantic situations, watch them blush or get embarrassed or whatever, and do it again next week over and over.
But I can see where you're coming from. The characters are more relatable in this one.
Yeah.
Because Takagi is just like an invincible character, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Unbeatable. So, unbeatable. She's overpowered. Put her in a shonen.
And they did a lot more in Ayumu with like, he like meets her parents and there's some history there.
Oh, I like that. That was cute.
Yeah, like her dad is a shogi master and he doesn't play anymore because of some reason, but then they like get him to play again. There's a side romance that happens that's really good. It felt sort of like the final the final version of kind of the practice that he had been doing with the ninja one, which I never actually read, TZ Master, and then TZ Master Takagi-san's Offshoot, which he didn't do, but another author did that also finished. I'm really curious what this author's going to go do now. I don't know if they're retiring or they're planning on starting something. I bet that they might be doing more of a like singular focused weekly series in a magazine. That's kind of my guess. Because previously they were not doing, full 20 pages on any of their series. They were doing, 8, 10, 11 on 2 or 3 of them. Maybe it was every other week, every week. I bet that maybe they got some offers that they couldn't turn down. And so we might see them pop up with a new series that's a full, 20 page, once a week thing. That's my guess, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see because I'm not sure. Like 3 series, even if they are shorter, that is so much work. I imagine this is going to be followed by a long break before we see anything. Mm-hmm. If we see anything, who knows? Maybe they just retire. But
they certainly could, yeah.
But I could very well see it going the direction you mentioned, Bruce. I wonder how much fuckier their schedule would get, or less fucky. Like I have no idea. Is a 1 week series like from a weekly Shonen Jump harder than juggling three
10-page things a week?
10 to 12, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I have no
It's an
clue
interesting
either.
question. I think that they are a very well-recognized, well-regarded author. I mean, like,
for sure.
There's lots of cute girls do, cute little fluffy romance things like that. This guy somehow hit on like 3 pretty popular, 2 very popular ones with a very popular offshoot. And then the ninja one, which is, I see sometimes. I think that one's a lot less popular, but I think like when will Ayumi make his move? And that gets an anime, people are going to eat it up. That's such a, like, it's so light and fluffy and easy. But yeah, I mean, I think that's all we've got. You want to do some news reporting real quick?
Gone Girl is the live action sequel to Takagi.
Ooh, that's there's a funny 4 coma in there somewhere. It needs to be explored.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a little bit of news.
Sure.
See. Beastars creator Paru Itagaki will publish a new Kappa-focused one-shot in Seinen Manga Magazine Monthly Afternoon. That will be out December 25th, titled, Ikitsukishi Futari. I'm going to lead this by saying, thank God Paru Itagaki is going back to drawing animals and not humans. I think her series Sanda is an affront, a visual artistic affront to the human body, and I cannot stand looking at it. She draws animals and it's fine. She draws humans in Sanda, and I think it's fucking terrifying.
They look like weird aliens. Yeah,
they look so weird, man.
Yeah, they look legit freaky. A Kappa focus here. It's a one shot. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I think there will be humans involved because Kappas like I think they like pull people's assholes out or something. They're like weird creatures.
Oh yeah, as like the actual demon version of Kappa. Yeah.
Or like the Japanese mythical creature.
Right. Right. I don't know. Everything I learned about Kappa, I learned from the 3rd Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle live action movie from the 90s, where they go back in time and they think the turtles are Kappa.
One. Oh right, that's a good.
It is the worst one, but I don't know. That's still one that I like a lot. That may have started my love with Japanese culture, so I'm not going to...
Oh, yeah, Turtles in Time.
It was the first time I'd really known anything about Japan, so...
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but I'm glad she is still just committing to doing weird shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, she seems like an odd person in the best way possible, so I'm glad she just makes these unique, absolutely strange manga. Instead of, like, trying to hit any kind of mass appeal, she just does completely out there things. So even though I think you and I both hated Sanda,
Beastars is good. I didn't read all of it, but I read 20 or 30 chapters. And I thought it was good. I could go back and read it, and I think enjoy it.
Beastars is real good. Yeah. That was a really good story. But either way, yeah, I'll check it out. Looking forward to reviewing it on here.
Yeah, on Christmas Day. See if it gets translated on Christmas Day or not.
True.
Let's see. Takehiko Inoue, that's Slam Dunk Vagabond author, has a new chapter of Real in Weekly Young Jump. That'll be out in a little over a week here. So that is the it's like the Paralympic basketball team, I think is what that one is technically about. I've heard that it's really good. It's on my plan to read.
Oh, that's cool.
I've actually not read much by Inoue. I haven't. I need to just go read Slam Dunk. It's so influential and core to like Japanese culture that it's like I just need to read Slam Dunk. I know Vagabond is good, although I look at it and it's like 300 chapters, and I know that it's pretty dark to get through. So I have to be in the mood to read that one.
I read Slam Dunk like 3 or 4 years ago. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think it has been iterated upon so much. Like every sports anime seemed to use it as a template because everything I read in Vagabond I read everywhere else before. It's not sorry, not Vagabond. What am I saying? Slam Dunk.
Slam Dunk, yeah.
I've read in every other sports anime, and it's not fair because Slam Dunk is the one that started it. So, but it still affects my enjoyment of Slam Dunk because I've seen
you can go like, oh, I know where this is going
before.
I've seen Haikyuu and Eye Shield and whatever else. So
so I think that's the problem with Slam Dunk in the modern day is that it did everything so well that everyone just copied Slam Dunk and rereading it, it's like nothing is new because
it's basically like if you read like Slam Dunk and like Ace No Diamond, those two like do everything from what I understand. It's just like, you want to see every sports trope in 2 series? Like you read those 2 and you've seen it all.
Yeah, we started them here first, kind of a thing.
Yeah, a lot of... I don't think it necessarily started them, but I think it popularized. I mean, a lot of the sports
for sure.
stories have kind of been told across the years, but yeah.
But there are some sports tropes that are like specific to manga that you can see that Vagabond clearly did this, and it feels like bad at certain points because people have iterated on it in more interesting ways.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, effectively, I'm sure people will have the same experience, like going back and watching Dragon Ball Z and being like, "What is this junk?" You know, like
it's just like, oh, okay, they're doing this. I've seen this before.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about Real though, just because it seems like such a different, like very non-Japanese type of focus. I think like. I don't know. It seems very interesting. I'm curious to check it out. I might read that first, honestly, of all his works, if I can get time for it. But
that seems really cool. It seems like the author just fucking loves basketball too,
which is cool. Yeah, I mean, and there's not,
awesome.
There's only the second best basketball thing is what's the one where the people have invisibility powers and Kuroko no Basket, right?
Kuroko no Basket,
right? Which is like goofy, not quite the same.
That is like One Piece showing realistic pirates. It's like that's the comparison. Kuroko no Basket is the One Piece of actual basketball.
Very goofy, yeah.
Yeah, people have superpowers.
All right, what else? We got Yofukashi no Uta, that's Call of the Night, is going to end with a volume 20. So volume 19 is planned to be released, I think, around February, which means that's probably around when the last chapter is coming out. We should see it early next year. That's interesting. I don't keep up with this. I think I read maybe the first chapter, and then I know people like this a lot after the anime come out. It seems really chill. It seems really good. Again, on my plan to read, plan to watch. We'll have to see how it ends and if people enjoy it.
Yeah, same here. I haven't. I've read like 1 or 2 chapters. I don't remember any of it. So I'll have to give it a crack one of these days.
Yeah, it appears to me to be a very character focused type thing, which makes me think that I would like it a lot. But I haven't had the time to dive in, so I'll have to get to that.
Yeah, I like the character designs too.
Yeah,
the vampire girl and Toga look 1-to-1 though.
There is a lot of the sort of sharp teeth, cute braid ponytail girl, whatever characters you want to say in there.
Yeah, exactly. Similar character designs.
All right, cool. That's it for manga. Let's go to one more thing with what else we're doing. Gautam, why don't you go first here?
I am degenerately addicted to TFT for about like 3 weeks to a month out of the year. I just play a lot of TFT and then I stop. And it's TFT season again, baby. New sets dropping. I'm gonna play till I burn out.
Tomorrow, right? Well, tomorrow as we are recording this, so it should already have been out for almost a week when this hits. So
yeah, and it's been in like the public
the PTR
beta, the PBE or what? Yeah, PTR. But I don't want to play in PTR, so I've just been completely blind until it drops in production. So
nice, yeah.
I've
been watching people play this. I feel like I didn't play a whole lot last time, but I watched people play a lot, and I think I might. This might be the set that I play, especially because it's on mobile, right? So I feel like I can. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I can play when I'm on my trip to Japan that's coming up. So.
If you have a stable enough connection, I struggled with that when I went. But yeah, either way, I hit Diamond last time playing suboptimal builds, so I plan to do that this time too. Or at least play to the rank where it's still fun. After a certain point, you have to play optimally and you have to be tryhardy, and the game stops being fun as soon as. I think that's like master though. Once you get up there, it's like you have to be tryhard to win.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely going to play a lot more of this one. Maybe we should. Well, here's what we should do, Gatum. We should play the 2v2 mode and try to hit like first place because nobody plays that competitively. So we could go real try hard 2v2s.
Oh, sure. I've never played that mode, so I don't know how it works, but I'm down to try it.
It's a normal game, and then if you win your board and your partner is still fighting, your remaining units get transported. There's also cool.
Oh, that's crazy.
You can there's items where you can send your partner units or items. You get to choose oh, hey, there's a reward. What reward do you want? It's interesting. It's definitely not competitive, but it is interesting.
That sounds fun though.
We should play a little bit of it though.
Yeah, let's hit that up. I'm down.
We should do it. Cool. I have been reading the original Scott Pilgrim comic. I'm going to call it a comic and not a manga. Get in the comments if you disagree. But yeah, I am maybe about a third of the way through the whole series. It's pretty good. I would say that
the whole series. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. You move fast.
I mean, it's only 40 chapters, something like that. So it's
like eight volumes, right? Something like that.
That sounds about right because it's about 40 chapters. So yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, and I'm on chapter 14 or something. So it's good. It's I'm most familiar with it from the movie from the 2010 movie came out, which is very, very good. I like a lot.
Okay. Yeah. So I think the difference is Scott is way more unlikable in the comics than he is in the movie.
Yeah, definitely a little bit. I can't. It's very weird because it's hard to tell if he's playing stupid and an asshole or if he is legitimately just an idiot. Now, I can't tell. So
he is an asshole, but he's also stupid. So I think that line is something you'll have to draw yourself. Because it's definitely both, but he's definitely an asshole. So that part of him is still there.
Yeah, and I haven't actually gotten to any new, anything that I haven't seen in the movie. It's sort of arranged in a little bit different order, and there's some extra scenes and stuff in there, but I think he's only just about to fight the vegan bass player. That's where I am.
I absolutely love that one.
It's a good one.
That fight's better in the comics.
Is it? Okay, I'm excited to get there. I think they're his ex-girlfriend's band just went on stage, and I think that was the end of the last chapter I read. So I'm excited to keep reading. I'm excited to see where else it goes because when the movie got adapted, only half or maybe less of the comics had been out. So I don't know if there's an ending to it, and I'm curious to see where that goes because I know people really like it, and the cartoon / anime came out on Netflix the other day. People seem to like it, and they also say that it's more of a I guess spoilers is that it is not a 1-to-1 adaptation of the Scott Pilgrim comic. So I wanted to read before I saw what it was and what changed.
Yeah. Good call. I still have to watch it, and it's more interesting to me knowing that because I've consumed the source material. So having more new Scott Pilgrim stuff is hey, all right, I'll take it.
Yeah, it seems like a really good series. I'm excited. I like that it focuses a lot on music. I think that's interesting to do in a comic.
Yeah.
I wish more people did some stuff like that. I mean, just write songs and gives you the chords to play on guitar in it, which is cool.
Oh, does it? I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
cool.
I think I've only run into like 2 of them so far, where it's like, here's the song and here's the like chords on guitar if you want to play along with it. So
That's awesome.
it definitely shows that the author has experience with music, and yeah, so enjoying it so far. Definitely going to get through it. I think with Thanksgiving coming up, I should have a little bit extra time to just sit around and read because I'll be at my family's place, and I don't have my computer, so I can't sit and be brain drained to edit. So
Yeah. Fair enough.
all right, cool. Well, I think that's anything else you wanted to chat about while we're here, Gautam. Are you ready to get out?
Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. Hey, thank you again, everyone, for listening or watching. Don't forget to leave us some feedback. Get in the comments, give us an upvote, thumbs up, whatever positive reinforcement you can leave us. Please go do that. We really appreciate comments, especially. Check out Twitter and Patreon, linked in the description. Gautam, don't forget to tell everyone goodbye.
Everyone, goodbye.
Thank you for being with us again this week, and don't forget to read more manga.